On October 28, 2022, authors George R.R. Martin and Neil Gaiman were in a panel at New York Comic Con to promote Martin's book, The Rise of the Dragon, An Illustrated History of the Targaryen Dynasty, Volume 1. One of the highlights of the panel was the discussion of the controversial take of Hollywood writers taking the original source material and making it their own interpretation, ruining the original story and its messages. 2 years later, he wrote on his blog that he still believes that this is an issue with the following quote: "The book is the book, the film is they film, they will tell you, as if they're saying something profound. And they make the story their own. They never make it better, though. 999 times out of 100, they make it worse." I can understand where he's coming from. When Hollywood wishes to adapt anything into film, such as books, short stories, comics, video games, board games, toys, or even autobiographies or events that took place, they will tweak or completely change the story, add or omit characters, or restructure or completely change the themes and messages to get a mainstream audience who isn't familiar with the source material invested. If done well, the adaptations will be the ones that people will be familiar with, since they'll have it on their mindset, as opposed to the original source material, especially if they saw it at a young age and had grown up with it. Now, that's not to say it's a bad thing. If the movie or TV show can adapt the story mostly accurate or capture the spirit of the original source material, then being introduced to it that way can be a good thing and may even lead you to look up the original. Or on the very rare case in which they changed the source material and its messages and made it better, looking back on the original source material feels more like a first draft of a good story that never fully materialized into something great. But when a movie or TV show missed the point entirely just for the sake of telling their own story, it feels empty, soulless, and unsatisfying. But for the general audience, that is all they'll ever know, and it's sad. Anyway, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Merry Christmas, everyone! I hope that you're having a great holiday celebrating with family and friends enjoying the festivities. It's time to do a review of the latest Disney Christmas special, Mickey and the Very Merry Christmases, as requested by my friend Clancy from On the House podcast, since I look back on the adaptations of the 1892 short story Christmas Every Day by William Dean House several years ago. Last time I decided to look back on the 1999 direct-to-video movie, Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, since they did their own adaptation of the story in the form of Stuck on Christmas. Now let's see how Mickey and the Very Merry Christmases not only stacks up compared to Stuck on Christmas, but as a Christmas Everyday adaptation. The plot starts off with Mickey waking up from bed and finding out that it's Christmas. Wow, deja vu. Mickey, Goofy, Daisy, and Donald come over to Mickey's house to celebrate Christmas with Mickey. Mickey is treasuring the day, taking pictures with his camera, documenting all the Christmas memories. While opening gifts, Mickey receives a photo album of all the Christmas memories that he and his friends have gone through over the years. Mickey wishes to continue celebrating Christmas with his friends, so they go out sleighing, taking pictures near the decorations, and visit a new Christmas village with a model train. Twinkles, the person in charge of the village, tells him that the train will grant any wish to the one who is able to toss the coin inside the train slot. Everyone has a go at it, but with no luck. That is until Mickey was able to get the last coin inside the train and made the wish that Christmas should be every day. At first, Mickey is enjoying having Christmas every day with his friends, but as time goes on, he builds less Christmas memories with them since he already lived through the events before, making it not as special as it was the first time. He decides to try to make another wish by the train at the Christmas village to set things right. Okay, right off the bat, we're moving from 2D hand-drawn animation to 3D animation. It has the same designs as the recent Disney Junior shows, and that's fine. It's well detailed, it's colorful and bright, and it's animated well. It's nothing I haven't seen before, so it gets the job done okay. The twist of this interpretation of the story is about Christmas memories and how special they can be. Since Christmas is once a year, any fun outing or wholesome moment can be a treasured memory that will never be forgotten. But once Christmas happens every day, the memories become less and less memorable, making it feel not as special. That's something I've never seen interpreted before in other Christmas Day adaptation, and I think it works. The songs are original to the special, where compared to Stuck on Christmas and the other stories featured on Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, they were classic Christmas songs such as We Wish You a Merry Christmas or Jingle Bells. On their own, they're not very memorable. I had forgotten the song shortly after I finished watching it. The new character Twinkles is this special's version of the Christmas fairy? Sort of? She doesn't grant the wish with her magic. It's the train on the magical Christmas village that Mickey gets his wish from. It makes Twinkles an afterthought now that I think about it. You could have had a sign that said, "Throw coin into train and get a wish," and the plot wouldn't have changed at all. She's a throwaway character at the end. The voice cast are the current Disney character voice actors. You still have Bill Farmer as Goofy and Pluto, Tony Anselmo as Donald, and Tress MacNeille as Daisy. But now you have Brett Iwan as Mickey and Caitlin Rolbrook as Minnie. They do a good job as voicing these iconic Disney characters that capture the warmth, hearth, and optimism. But I miss the genuine love and affection that Wayne Allwine and Russi Taylor did voicing their characters. It's even better if you remember that they were married in real life and injected their love for one another in their performances. I haven't seen the recent Mickey and Minnie shows on Disney Junior, but watching this Christmas special, something felt off for me. By themselves, they're fine, but together the magic wasn't there. At least for me. Let me know in the comments if you feel the same way I did. Overall, if I had to choose a winner between this and Stuck on Christmas on which captured the original source material better, it would be Stuck on Christmas. Having Huey, Dewey, and Louie as the main protagonists makes the most sense in the context of the story. Not because the main protagonist in the original story was a child, but kids love Christmas and would wish it were every day. Mickey, for the most part, is an adult, and having him wishing it were Christmas every day just doesn't strike the same way of wanting it every day compared to Huey, Dewey, and Louie. If his love for Christmas was a little bit more emphasized, then I can see it happen. Not Mr. Christmas levels of celebrating Christmas every day, but something that justifies his reasoning on wanting it more than just celebrating with his friends, making Christmas memories for his album. Another reason why Stuck on Christmas was the better adaptation was because you felt the repercussions of having too many Christmases way more than Mickey and the Very Merry Christmases. The same presents, visitors, meals, and moments felt more monotonous and tiring, and you saw Huey, Dewey, and Louie's reactions to it, and it drove them insane. Here, Mickey just felt bored with it. That's not enough in my opinion. Finally, Stuck on Christmas is a bigger bang for your buck because it's shorter than Mickey's Stuck on Christmases, and it captures the message a little bit better. Overall, if you want to see Christmas every day but with the Disney characters, watch Stuck on Christmas. Plus, if you watch Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, you'll get 2 more Christmas stories that are even better than that one. So yeah, Mickey and the Very Merry Christmases is another adaptation of Christmas Every Day, taking cues from the 1996 TV movie as opposed to the original short story. You know, it's ironic that a lot of people have complained that the 2000 adaptation and the 2018 adaptation of Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas are not accurate to the book or the 1966 adaptation, but not one person has ever had the same vitriolic statement about any of the Christmas Every Day adaptations that came out after 1996. I think it's because the general audience has gotten so accustomed to this interpretation that no one remembers the original 1892 short story by William Dean Howells. That just makes me hate the 1996 adaptation even more than ever. Basically replace the 2000 Grinch movie with Christmas Every Day, and I would have the same sentiment as his tweet from @NScranor. Going to what made Groundhog Day, the movie that the 1996 adaptation clearly ripped off, work was that the main character was a jerk from the beginning when he made a half-assed report to the blizzard that wasn't going to affect Pennsylvania during the Groundhog Day celebration. He hated his job, he hated the town he was stationed at, and he hated the people. So when Groundhog occurred over and over again, at first he thought he was going crazy, but then when he realized that there were no consequences to his actions because the day was going to repeat anyway, he took advantage of it. After he got sick of the same events happening, he tried to commit suicide with no success. Finally, he decides to learn how to play piano, save people's lives, fall in love with a news producer, and learn the importance of what life has to offer. The peaks, rises, falls, failures, and triumphs of life is a fantastic lesson, and what makes that movie so great. Too bad whenever someone tries to rip it off, they only take a fraction of what made that movie great and turn it into a adaptation of Christmas Every Day. So for those who want to see an adaptation that is the closest to the source material, watch the 1986 CBS special, the Fairly Odd Parents Christmas special, and the Sesame Street Christmas special starring Elmo. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to enjoy the festivities with a good Christmas special. So, once again, thank you Clancy for the request, and to everyone else, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.